What a lovely story. I'm so proud of you. I'm so pleased you've managed to take what we taught in the 30-day and adapt it wider than just a 30-day and then win a contract. And now you know what it's like to win one.
So I actually won the first proposal I submitted. And
no, really?
Yes.
The first one?
The very first one. But I
No.
also just learned this about...
Wait a minute. Hang on a minute. Before you tell me any more. So you joined the 30-day. Hang on. This is very exciting. So you joined the 30-day. Within how many days from starting with us training? You had no idea about government contracting before. We taught you. You met me and Dr. Wes every day. But so just help me out. Was it in the first week you submitted it? In the first 2 weeks?
I'd have to say it was on April 26th. I don't remember exactly. It might have been the first or second week. It was definitely the first. It was the first week because I got it out. Now I remember. We started on Monday. I submitted it on Wednesday. So it was the first week. And
amazing. Congratulations. So you submitted one on Wednesday. And then when did you find out about it?
So I found out about it. So that went in on the 26th. It was at the end of May. So just about, let's say 5 weeks.
So just after the challenge finished, then you've heard about it. Wow. Okay, so now tell me about it.
So this was for the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers in Alabama. They needed a industrial water heater replaced. And so I called a couple different plumbing companies in the area. And I wanted to get 3 quotes. That's what my typical goal is to get. But I was only able to get 2. One, I believe, was for $13,000, and the other guy was for like 19-something thousand. And I went with that. The guy who said he was going to charge $9,000 for both the equipment and the installation. He had told me that he had received calls from 4 other contractors and given them the same quotes.
Right.
So I know I had to go pretty. Like I didn't have a lot of margin that I could build on top of that.
Okay.
And I was also very nervous about even though I've written many proposals over the course of my careers for like companies that I've worked for, submitting the first one in my own name, like I felt very nervous about it. And so even though I could pull up the exact amounts, I think it was like 9,350 is what the quote I got. And so I decided I would just put $100 on top of that.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay, fine.
Which is like contrary to what
everything we've said. It's the absolute opposite to everything we said. But anyway, so you put $100 on top.
Correct. And so here's the surprising thing. I got a call from, so this is like almost 5 weeks later, I got a call from the CEO. And they said that there was another contractor who had been awarded who backed out. Am I interested in doing the project? And I said yes. This was 3 days ago. And it seems like the gears move slowly. Like it takes 5 weeks, at least for this announcement to have been made, the decision award to be given to me. Then, they say, okay, we're going to send you out the contract. But it was 2 days ago that they said that I still have not received the contract. But I was informed that I was awarded. So it seems, the government on its end, I think it moves slowly. Probably contracting officers work on multiple opportunities or contract opportunities at the same time.
Absolutely. Yeah, and it's the government. And like we said in the training, if they're bridges, if the ships are burning, the building's falling down, trust me, they'll be on the phone. But if it's just something that's got to get done, there's something else more important, they'll get to you. It's going to happen. Just chase them up. Just send the email to chase them up. But okay. So that was 3 days ago. So you've won it. Did you renegotiate the price a little bit?
I didn't think to do that.
No, okay, fine.
That's an interesting.
You could have just gone back and gone, well, it's about $600 more now, and then it would have been such a small percentage, but you'd have just had a little bit of a win there. But hey, guess what? So you won one. You've gone through the process and you've won one.
And it's a process too, because I believe, if I remember correctly, Dr. Wes actually on his first contract with the
he won barely any. It was such small profit on it.
Correct.
Such small profit.
I think that's like I don't know. It's a common thing. I can't tell you, even though I've written so many proposals, for other companies, how nervous I was when I was submitting my own first proposal, and it was really a mental thing. Like, am I really like the one who can represent, be the head of a company that's going to do the contracting with the government? And even though I was in this industry and I've done it for so many other people in the past, never thought was nervous about submitting the proposal. I got super nervous about this one.
So did it help being with us, with the coaches, with me and Wes for the 30 days? Did that help with that kind of confidence?
Totally. And I think one of the greatest things I've taken away from the 30-day challenge is the absolute need to push yourself towards speed. Getting I pushed myself to get a proposal out as early as I could. I was like, and so doing one in 3 days of starting the program was, I think, very helpful. And there's going to be a lot of opportunities where you start evaluating it. You maybe even find a subcontractor, but they can't get you all the materials in time, and it ends up falling apart. Or you can't find a sub, but you love the opportunity and you can't find the right person. And that's okay. As long as you're moving at speed and you're learning through the process and then becoming more decisive, okay, I'm not finding the right sub for this opportunity. I could spend another day or 2 or 3 on it, but no, there's other opportunities. I'm going to go with a different one that I'd also looked at and that sounded good. So learning to move through the process quickly, become more decisive, that's been very helpful for me.
Fantastic, Rami. Absolutely fantastic. Can I ask you a few questions then? So feedback, what was good about the challenge and what was something we could improve?
I was surprised. I think I may have mentioned this a bit earlier. I thought when we first started talking about mindset stuff that it was a bit of fluff, but then at the end of that session and after we had several discussions about mindset, I really do see the value of thinking about mindset, developing your own mindset. Part of it is also just kind of the confidence that's necessary to like as I mentioned, submit that first proposal. And I felt a lot of imposter syndrome, even though I have worked in this industry for a long time.
Yeah.
But just doing it in my own name. So that was more helpful than I thought. And I'm someone who likes technical details, and I'm often all right, I'm in the numbers and I'm really focused on making sure we've met all the technical requirements. That mindset stuff really, I think, has helped me. It makes you also more confident when you're talking with subcontractors. It makes you value your own time more as well, because you know that your time and your focus is very valuable. And so when you have that right mindset, it allows you to really focus on what is the most value add for your business, for yourself. Nice. And it carries out, once you have that, it carries out beyond just the narrow part of your work. It carries out into other parts of your life.
Absolutely. And to be successful entrepreneurs, it's a rounded, I think from my experiences, it's a bit like going to see the doctor and the doctor just treats you for that one thing. Like they look at the human body and all these individual systems, and it's not, you're one whole human entity, and you need to treat the whole body, not just that one thing. And I think it's exactly the same with life and business and personal life and everything you want to achieve. You are just the one person in its whole entirety, and you have to approach your health, your community, your work, your personal life, your friendship, your family, all as one, and they've all just got to have balance. And some may take more attention than others at certain times, but you really do have to see yourself as needing all those things. You need to manage each one of them. You can't lock all your friends out and just focus on your fitness, and your personal partnership suddenly drops off. Everything needs a bit of time. Some need more than others, but you have to really work. And to improve as an entrepreneur and a business owner, it's understanding that in a storm, in when it's really shaking your timbers, when you're pushing that fear all the time into a new space, which is what you need to do to grow, is that you have those things and they're managed, they're in check, and you're strong, because it's only you. It's only you. All those things around you are only there because you're there. The minute you're not, well, they just dissolve and go off and do other things. So for you to hold them close and dear and protect and support them, you've got to be strong, and you've got to have a clear reason to do everything every day. Otherwise, well, it just falls to pieces.
Totally agree.
It's what will make you incredibly successful. You're very detailed, you're very organized, you have empathy, and you have concern. Those are amazing qualities in an entrepreneur. Just now keep pushing that comfort zone, be aware of the fear, and recognize that the most successful entrepreneurs when they're younger, they have, when people sort of like do something for the first time, they call it beginner's luck. It's like, it's beginner's luck because you're fearless. You're just fearless. There's no second thought or opinion in the back of your head. The reason why we're lucky at the beginning is because we just hit it. We are like a sponge and we learn everything without any fear. And it's only when we get older and we have all those experiences in life, we start fearing things that aren't really there, but they feel real. And we've just got to get through those. You've just got to go back to just being a sponge and being fearless and attacking it as if you're a 20-year-old or a 16-year-old again, like as if it's the first time you've heard it. That's the real key. But that, but it's just to remind yourself of that all the time.
Correct.
But
yeah, thank you for sharing that. You're absolutely right.
Just always keep learning. Be a sponge. Just keep sucking it up. Because especially when you have difficulties with the brain or and whatever else, right? Some people have other difficulties, more external than internal. And so, that creates more barriers, little things that you need, mechanisms you've got to be aware of. But that doesn't stop you being fearless.
Right.
You can still be fearless with that, and you can still create those systems to support you. But Rami, amazing. What a lovely story. I'm so proud of you. I'm so pleased you've managed to take what we taught in the 30-day and adapt it wider than just a 30-day and then win a contract. And now you know what it's like to win one.
Yeah, it's a really nice feeling. Like it just says this works.
Yeah, incredible. So what's your plan going forward then?
So this is my full-time focus now. Every day or two, I look on sam.gov. I have an Excel spreadsheet, well, it's a Google sheet that I use. I just enter new opportunities that I'm interested in. And I just look through it and I say, okay, right now, this is the opportunity. I've got enough that like most speaks to me. There's enough time for me to try to put it together. And I push on it as hard as I can to get it to the finish line. Or if I find out midway that it's not working out, can't find the sub, or it's just, there's some technical component I learned too late, a little bit too late in, that just disqualifies me or doesn't make me a good fit for it. I just say, okay, I've already got like 10 other ones I've identified that look interesting. I'm just going to drop that one and move on to the next one.
Rami, that's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. So just to finish, what would you say to someone? What is a 30-day like for people that don't know anything about it? Should they do it?
I think it was one of the best decisions I made. I think had I chosen to just do this on my own, I definitely would be several steps behind where I am now after 1 month of training. In terms of just mindset, knowing the process, because even the middleman strategy is very different than even being in industry, in an established company doing the work. Just learning that middleman mindset and the techniques involved with it, it's different than even having experience in this industry within companies. Even though there's a lot of things that are similar, there's different approaches. And so I really benefited from that. Seeing also the examples of people who had gone through the program and who were brought on to speak to the group about their experience, the challenges they had and the successes they had. That was really like both a good opportunity to learn from like things to avoid and then like how you can be successful. And just seeing that it's like everyday people who are giving it a go and finding success is also kind of gives you inspiration that, yeah, even me too, I can do this.
So if you were looking online at like a side hustle, considering different options, what would you say to someone that was Googling kind of how do I make money online? What do I do next?
I think government contracting is a really good space to be in. If it's something that you find interesting, something you believe is a way that you can spend your time and you can put in the investment to get up to speed on how it's done, do the reps. It's almost once at some point it becomes a wash, rinse, and repeat on a regular basis, daily basis. Just find the opportunity, find the sub, write the proposal, submit it. And if you want to do that and you can learn the way, how to do that in your style, in what works, in the systems that work best for you in terms of how you organize yourself, I think it's a great industry. For me, like I wanted more time freedom for myself. I wanted location freedom, and it gives me both of those things.
Amazing, amazing. And so having completed the 30-day, do you feel, what's your confidence level on earning 100,000 or six figures a year out of this?
I think it's very doable. If it's just, you have to learn how to find the right opportunities that get you there. You may not get those opportunities right at the beginning. I'm kind of initially going after more simple opportunities because I want to still learn the process of working at speed on smaller opportunities. But also, like, even if something, like, sometimes, there's not that much difference between a job that seems that it's going to be in the high 10,000s and a job that might be like 15,000. The steps are still the same, but sometimes maybe you also have to, like, learn to grow your mindset to be like, yeah, I'm worthy of bidding on and winning those larger contract opportunities. So there is I think, an individual journey you have to go through, and it's kind of saying, one is, yes, I know how to do this. And the next is saying, yeah, I know how to do this and I can be, like, big at this. So I'm still going through all that. You don't end, I think even though you go through the 30-day challenge and you grow a lot, it's a lifelong journey of growth. And I think I'm still going through that.
Amazing. Thank you so much.